Good afternoon, everybody. Uneducated Economist here. So this is going to come as a shock to a lot of people, but right now the United States government is sitting on an excessive amount of cash. I'm going to leave a link down in the description to the Treasury General Account. This is the account that the United States government uses to write checks from. So if there is a bill that needs to be paid by the government, it comes out of this Treasury General Account. So if you look at the chart, you're going to see that prior to the pandemic, there was not even a third of the cash that is sitting in it today. Now, after the pandemic, there was two really big spikes in this account, loaded up with cash so that they could do the stimulus, issue out those stimulus checks, do the stimulus spending. All that came out of the Treasury General Account. But now there is a lot of cash, an excessive amount of cash sitting in this account. And there's no stimulus packages being handed out. It doesn't make sense on why there is so much money sitting there. Except if you go and you look back to September 21st, 2023, the United States Treasury had a press release. In that press release, they were talking about a bond buyback program, one that was coming in 2024. The three reasons for this bond buyback program, the three main reasons: number one, to enhance liquidity of benchmark securities. Number two, to prevent what would otherwise be a potential costly and unjustified increase in the average maturity of our debt. Number three, more effective use of cash. Now, isn't this crazy to think about? With all the government spending and debt issuance and all the printing of money and all the stuff that we have been hearing over the last few years, right now, the United States government is sitting on an excessive amount of cash with the plan to enhance the liquidity of the benchmark securities. What's going on here? Liquidity crisis is coming. They know it. And they are getting prepared. You can see it right now with the excessive amount of cash sitting at the Treasury General Account. And the reasonings behind the bond buyback program. Number one, to enhance liquidity of the benchmark securities. This is the important one. See, the United States Treasury is by far the deepest, most liquid market in the entire world. Treasuries are as good as cash. If you are going to go sell one of those United States government bonds, you're going to find a buyer for it right now. No doubt about it. This is what gives the United States Treasuries the incredible status they do, because they get used as cash. They get used as cash because they are so liquid. If you want to sell that bond, there's a buyer right now. The moment that somebody goes to sell a United States government bond and they cannot find a buyer for it, that would start disrupting the entire global financial markets. They would start to become undone. So it is absolute imperative, critical for all of the entire global economy that United States Treasury stay liquid. And the Treasury knows that. The number one reason for the bond buyback program to enhance liquidity of the benchmark securities, if they ever have a situation in which that somebody is going to go sell a bond and they cannot find a buyer for it, they will step in themselves and buy that bond, maintaining the liquidity within that bond market. They know that there is liquidity issues coming, right? They wouldn't have had this press conference and then keep it quiet ever since then. Go and take a look. Just Google it. Bond buyback program. You're going to find that back in September and shortly after that, there was a couple of articles that came out from like Bloomberg and Reuters and Wall Street Journal, right? They all talked about it, and then it went completely silent. Nobody talks about this anymore. Why? Because if they told you that this was the situation coming up, you would be preparing for it, right? They cannot tell you about the liquidity issues coming, but they can prepare for it themselves. They make the statement about it, and they can say, hey, we said something. We had a press release about it, right? Because you didn't listen or weren't paying attention or nobody else was talking about it. It isn't our fault, right? This is the excuse that they can use. But it's right here, crystal clear. Now, if you enjoy this video, I'm going to leave a link down in the description, not only to the links for the Treasury General Account and this press release, but I'm also going to leave a link to a live stream that we plan on doing tomorrow where we're going to break down all the information within this press release. We're going to read it word for word and know exactly what it is that the Treasury is planning on doing with this liquidity issue coming in 2024, this year, and how it is that they plan on dealing with buying back these bonds. All right? This is stuff that you are not going to find anywhere else, right? And it's It's here. It's happening right now, and nobody is really discussing what it is that they need to do in order to, protect themselves. You have to understand this information for yourself, and it is coming out daily, practically. So if you really want to understand this stuff, if you really want to know it and internalize it for yourself, consider joining the live stream. Right? It's $1 a month to become a member of the channel. It's a very small amount to pay to get this information. It means everything to me because it, drives me to bring you the most value I possibly can about this. Right? And this is information, like I said, you're not going to get anywhere else. Right? I mean, some people might be talking about it, but I don't know how many people out there who have been so adamant about like the liquidity issues that are coming and that the Treasury is being prepared or is preparing for it. I don't know who else out here on the internet or on YouTube or anywhere else that is being so adamant about internalizing this information as I am. So please consider joining us Saturday, tomorrow, about 10 o'clock Pacific time. It's $1. To join in on the memberships only live stream. You are going to find that the community there is incredibly intelligent. You can ask us questions, you can ask me questions, all the comments get read. It's a really good afternoon to spend to try and gain what is going to be probably some of the most important knowledge that you can internalize right now. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. Uneducated Economist, you let me know.